Iguazu Falls wasn't on our radar until we were traveling through Cozumel and met Argentinians that said if we were working our way through South America, we have to visit the falls. It only took about 2 hours to get from the beach in Rio de Janeiro to the jungles of Iguazu.
We're at like a four-corner kind of situation, or it's like Paraguay, Brazil, Argentina. I think it's all, I don't know. You know, I haven't researched what we're doing or like where we are really. I'm just picking up cues from the airport. So. It's not embarrassing at all.
The Belmond properties many times are in the best possible locations. And being that this hotel is literally inside of the park, the biggest perk is when the park closes. The hotel guests have the falls all to themselves. It's quite an experience. Not to mention, we're in the lap of luxury. Walking down to see the waterfalls, after the park closes and before dinner, the viewing platforms are nearly empty, and it's nice when you don't have to worry about a horde of selfie sticks everywhere you look. It's peaceful and you really get the sense that you're in the pulse of the jungle. Legend has it that a deity planned to marry a beautiful woman who fled with her mortal lover in a canoe. In a rage, the deity sliced the river, creating the waterfalls and condemning the lovers to an eternal fall. There's so much to get caught up in here. However, the hotel had mentioned that there was a jaguar and her cubs that were seen near the main building, and they said it was probably better not to be walking through the jungle after dark. Agreed. We're headed off to dinner. While generally not considered a culinary destination, we were lucky to be staying at the hotel during the rotating chef series. Our meal this evening was from visiting Peruvian executive chef of Malabar restaurant, Patricio Bossombrio, so this was a nice surprise. The executive chef from Malabar, which is number 39 in the world, is actually here tonight cooking dinner, so we're very lucky to have a tasting menu, and so far everything's been delicious. We have to keep in mind that we're in the Brazilian rainforest, so the local ingredients are things like ants and Amazonian fish, which can lead to a very creative tasting menu.
You broke a joke, it's counterfeit, you're sick of it.
The next morning, Eric decided he really wanted to try something that neither of us had ever done: flying in a helicopter. I'm gonna be honest, it was hard for me to appreciate the waterfalls during the helicopter ride. Maybe it was just windy that day, but it definitely was bumpy. Plus, since I had the middle seat in the back, it was hard to get a good view. But it was certainly impressive that the enormous and powerful falls could look as small as they did from the air. Oh well, I guess at least we can check helicopter ride off Eric's bucket list for now.
Alright, we just got off the helicopter ride. I'm still a little shaky. It was my first helicopter ride.
Mine too.
I have a severe fear of heights on top of it. So anyway, I feel like we did pretty good. And, you know, we lived, so there's that. It was beautiful, you know, when I wasn't blacked out. Anyway, we're across the street now and there's a bird park here. It's supposed to be the biggest bird park in South America. So, I mean, I don't even know what kind of birds I don't know about yet, but I hope they're all here.
Should be cool.
Yeah.
The bird sanctuary was a great place to unwind and just walk through the canopy, listening to the birds and seeing them up close. It was a really cool experience. There are some crazy birds in Brazil, and it was hilarious to see them interact with each other and to be able to get up that close to them. I'm not sure we would have come just to see the birds, but combined with the helicopter ride, it was well worth the stop. was one final thing that everyone was saying that we had to try while we were here, and that was the riverboat ride to the falls.
The boats are like really small, like compared to the ones like in Niagara Falls. So I think they get up kind of close. It's going to get pretty wet, but it should be super fun. How you feeling?
I was the only one wearing the silly poncho, and I realized I looked the fool, but to be honest, I had no idea what we were about to do. And in hindsight, I'm just glad that my skin wasn't touching those moldy life jackets.
It's not just like one falls, like Niagara Falls or something like that. It's actually a series of like 270 different falls, all like in this horseshoe thing. It's completely crazy. It's pretty awesome.
If you're someone who enjoys whitewater rafting, then you'll probably love the boat ride. Now, there were two options for the boat, dry and wet, and I'm still trying to figure out why we chose the wet option.
Woo! That just hits you in the face.
The boat driver just keeps driving the boat into the falls over and over again. We must have been rammed under it 4 or 5 times.
It was pretty fun. You just get like, it was like a super soaker, like right in your face.
Estamos anotando los números, los teléfonos para adicionar.
While there are a number of ways to experience the falls, by land, sea, and air, honestly it doesn't matter. Just standing on the platform next to the waterfalls, feeling the power of the water crashing, surrounded by nature, it was a pretty great way to see the largest waterfall in the world.
Where are we going?
Falls de Iguazu.
You think that's it?
My Portuguese is so good.
No, it's this is great. This is good stuff. I mean, this might be the thumbnail for the video.
Give me all you want.
She's all ready. She's ready for the waterfalls.